still safe kasi someone joke you're like frenemy number 1 or something like
Yun
that.
nga, paano ka mangangampanya dun eh?
I don't want to go to Davao. I'll be honest. That's why I'm surprised you did because I'd be afraid to go to Davao.
How do Davaoenos feel ba about EJ case kaya? Yun ang...
Okay, this is where I got into some trouble because I think a lot of Davaoeno friends took offense or at least took exception to what I said na it's mahirap malaman ano talagang gusto ng tao habang may climate of fear.
Yes.
So if you go to Reddit, there's a whole thread about what I posted on Twitter. Obviously, Twitter is not the most eloquent version of me. But a big chunk was they saw it as an insult from a Manileño and they forget I'm actually from Provincia Tobago. But there were other people that actually said their own life story. Yung dad daw niya, manager, may sinabi lang about Duterte, one day may kumatok, oy, gusto mong tumahimik, ganon. Yung iba nag-migrate na lang out of Davao. So actually, may mga nagsasalita na rin doon. So it just confirms the climate of fear I was talking about. Now, you don't need to invite Trillanes to tell you about the death squads. You don't need to read Patricia Mingalisa's book to know about the operations there. So I think there's and there is because I've been to North Korea, I've been to China, I've been to many authoritarian countries. And honestly, you talk to people there, they rather say they like the president.
Right.
Like if you do a survey in Russia, someone calls you, comrade, what do you think about Vladimir Putin? Do you think he's a great guy? What are the options? Good, great, fantastic. Do you have higher than that, comrade? Okay, because I'm like, and then that's the open scare. The other one is, if you can't beat it, join it. Meaning, just buy the narrative.
Yeah.
So, 3 decades na sila dun. Ang tagal na
Yes.
mga Dutertes. So I felt medyo hindi I think the Dutertes and Mark is always harping on that. I think they've been so good in weaponizing itong mga taga Manila, mga kupa,
Yes.
ganun. Kaya ako always
It's
emphasize
us against them. Parang ganun.
Medyo konyo itsura ko. So they try to actually no. What I'm saying is do not equate Duterte to Davao because Davao is so much better than Duterte.
Right.
And yes, Duterte maybe was necessary. Maybe, again, it's an argument, 1980s and 90s, nung Duterte was like Nicaragua. But Davao is super nice and developed right now. I think they have outgrown the need for those kinds of leaders.
Yep.
But yun nga, so I hope my Davao friends, I'm saying this in a very friendly, we don't, kasi kami sa Baguio, we also feel the same. Galit kami sa mga taga Manila, mga kupal itong mga. Kasi ako, I speak Ilocano, di ba? So when I go up, yung kotse ko kasi, the plate number is Manila. So nakikita ko yung guard ng mga ganun. And then I immediately speak Ilocano. Apay, kasi, and then they immediately, nga, tapos Ilocano, nga, ang yabang itong mga taga Manila nga. Lalo ang Christmas time, holidays, ang daming tao. So if kami nga sa Baguio nang lapit sa Manila, we feel that kind of Imperial Manila,
Wow.
Mas malayo,
I completely relate to Davao. 100%. So I just feel people understand that where I'm coming from is I think Davao as a city and as a people is way better than Duterte. They have outgrown that need. Mm-hmm. And maybe trapo din to dynasty, but maybe you have an alternative now that mas tugma, at least medyo Harvard Law School graduate, medyo hindi, data driven. I mean, look at, diba, Digong made Carlo Nograles not only his CAP secretary, but also one of the spokesmen during COVID who discussed all the...
Yes.
Matalinong tao. So, I just hope our folks in Davao don't get into this weaponization of tribalism. Because I'm from Baguio, I'm from Solid North supposedly, but I've criticized PBM, I've criticized Marcos Sr. So I don't allow my ethnicity or background define my point. Because we are way more than just Marcoses. So that's where I'm coming. Sorry. Kayo, what is your read on that? On the whole Imperial Manila, Davao, and have you been to Davao, any of you guys? What is your impression of Davao? Let's do a Davao conversation, right? We need this, brother.
The last time I was there, hindi pa yata presidente si Digong eh. So matagal-tagal na din eh. Kasi I used to go there for business dun sa kumpanya namin. It's nice naman, ganda naman yung mga malls and yung mga places doon. It's hard to say din eh kung
Kinakabahan na.
Kinakabahan na din ako eh.
No. Okay, let's be fair. Kasi ang tingin nila is kung taga Manila ka, ang babaw ng tingin mo sa Davao. That's not true.
That's not true. The Dutertes created that narrative. That's
not
not
like
even
that.
true.
Yeah, it's not like
so, kasi alam mo, a politician, a populist president, or a populist leader will always look for an enemy that we
us
can...
versus them.
Right. It's always that case. Palagi, that's that style. Ang nakakatawa, ang daming mga tao na nauuto pa rin dito, hindi nila alam na tactic yun. Yung, us against the communists, us against the drug addicts, or us against, yun na nga, mga taga Imperial Manila. Dude,
othering. Yeah.
nobody is, walang nang-aapik kanino. You're the one creating that narrative in your head that's not even based
I mean,
on
there's
reality.
obviously
But I
some
think- I think
prejudice
ano eh,
here and there. But
There's
it's not all of
prejudice
us.
on all sides.
All sides, sa bagay.
It's hard for me to understand it din kasi I'm from Imperial Manila eh. So hindi ko
Imperial QC.
Oh, eh. So, pero like for example, 'di ba sa Cebu, 'di ba? Some Cebuano friends ayaw nilang Tagalog. They would rather Cebuano or English. So merong ganong
Yeah, but
ano
see,
eh.
do you hear people from Cebu saying to you na, taga Manila ka, walang. No, it's friendlier. Davao, he was able to weaponize that I'm from Davao, you're from Manila, and so you're an asshole. Cebu and Manila, I don't see that kind of tension as much as they created with only the people that support Duterte.
Ako, taga Baguio, my lola was there, God bless her so much. Everyone is actually ang linis ng Davao, maayos ng Davao. What I saw in Davao just confirmed everything I was told about it while I was critical of Digong's national policies, etc. In fact, there was a part of me, again, this is out of respect, is that I don't know about 80s and 90s what you needed, but obviously I still disagree with the method. But ako kasi, isa sa pinaka nakakainis sa akin is nung naging presidente si Digong, biglang nagkakaroon ng EJK sa Baguio. In fact, may isang kilala ng pinsan ko na binaril sa gitna ng Session Road. Dude, that's like it's like Times Square instead. Well, Times Square actually has a lot of crime. Think about a square or a main thoroughfare in a city na sobrang peaceful. And the next thing, biglang may... So parang, bakit nyo dinadala yung sa inyo sa amin? Parang na-impose nyo sa amin. Doon ako nainis eh. Nawala lang yun nung naging si Magalong ng mayor. Kasi he's police. Like, no, I'll do it my way. He has the authority. Pero to be honest, before that, may mga EJK sa Baguio na naiinis ako na, this is the Davao model. Don't impose it on us.
Yeah.
I felt offended as a Baguio boy that you're imposing it on the rest of us when hindi naman kailangan ng EJK sa Baguio. In fact, hindi kailangan to begin with. But I just felt that was Imperial Davao
Right.
on us in Baguio. Yeah, that's one way it got personal to me. Like, barilan sa gitna ng Baguio? Like, I never seen guns in Baguio. Like, that's crazy. Kahit suntukan lang, minsan-minsan lang kami.
That's why I was asking kanina kung how Davaoenos kaya feel about EJK. Kasi isang important din that we need to
But can they be really honest to us? Like, unless it's off the record and all. Kasi on the record, I don't know.
I connect this dun sa question ko sa buong bansa eh. Kasi there's a large segment din ng population natin who knows about EJK. Alam nila na walang due process, walang talagang may summary execution lang, but they were still all right with it.
Yes.
Because they had given up on this system.
Oo.
So,
Yes.
the term for that is penal populism. Yung idea na is, I'm the dirty Harry, right?
Yep.
Wala eh. The sheriff is corrupt. I just have to shoot down the criminals. So I think, understandable yung mindset na yan pag anarchic yung situation. I don't know, failed state, Somalia,
Yes.
I don't know, whatever. Pero napakasensado naman ng Davao ngayon at hindi naman ganun kagrabe yung buong Pilipinas. Again, I'm not saying EJK is okay. I'm just saying, I just don't feel we are in a chaotic situation to warrant that. Now, there are parts of the Philippines that obviously are problematic, but I still don't see a justification for that kasi just too many people got killed na dapat hindi pinatay. I mean, actually, none of them should have been killed kaya nga due process. And my point is, how are you gonna make our system more accountable? Parang, paano mo i-solve yung problema kung yung solution mo is even worse? Diba? You might kill the patient with the bad medicine.
Sa akin, how do you convince these people na mali yan eh? Kasi parang sa kanila, hindi, parang
Cancel
justified
culture,
eh.
just
Justified yung... So, yun ang I'm having a hard time kung how to explain to someone na... Kasi I see them all the time eh. Yung mga fans ni Duterte, ganun eh.
Alam mo, nakakatawa. They actually admit that Duterte kills people.
At proud ba sila?
And proud pa sila. That's the weird thing eh. When this whole thing started in 2016, first they were in denial. They would say na hindi si Duterte pumapatay, it's the drug lords fighting each other kasi natatakot sila, mahuhuli sila. Pero walang ginawa si Duterte dyan. Now, it's just outright, hindi, tama, si Duterte pumapatay, tama yan. And ituloy pa niya yan. Gusto pa namin ng maraming patayan. I was surprised to see some people in Davao commenting on my vlog saying na, gusto namin si Digong, gusto namin matuloy ang patayan. What the heck is wrong with you? Think about what
I
you're
heard something
saying.
worse, bro. By the way, shout out to Davao, number 4 urban centers where my audience comes from. I don't know why.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like nakita ko. They're my 4th largest audience.
Okay,
Let me ask you something.
Are you getting bashed?
Not as much as before. I'm actually,
Exactly.
I'm surprised. What's
exactly.
going on?
So what I'm saying is, how big is the Davao in terms of percentage? How big is Davao?
I think it's big enough. It's 12%,
Oh,
15%.
12-15%.
I get a million comments, so
Okay.
like it should be thousands, right?
Okay, so you're talking about 12% and you're not getting the bashing, then that means there's a lot of people in Davao
Who
that
agree.
I believe that agree and do not want Duterte in power. And even if you see it now, tingin ko talaga, nare-realize sila na, nga, noon tagal na rin si Digong at sa kung 30 years nga siyang mayor, tapos hindi pa tapos tong drug war niya, wow, papatayin na niya tayong lahat kasi sino pa papatayin niya kung hanggang ngayon hindi pa napapatay lahat.
Ako, I've heard even crazier ones. I'm sure. Alam mo yung Koratong Balele, yung conspiracy.
Yes.
Like, essentially, you centralize. Parang idea is that, kaysa sari-sari store,
Centralize mo na
i-mall
yung
mo na para at least, I don't know, like, mas maayos yung distribution. Like, I heard crazy stuff. Like, what? Parang, lahat na lang sinabi para lang ma-justify yung vote nila nung 2016. Ako naman, sabi ko, simple lang naman ang pwede mong sabihin. I was frustrated, I was angry, I won't dispute that.
Yep.
Pumalpak talaga yung mga liberals, reformists, but wag mo nang pilitin.
Yeah. No, don't double down.
Double down, yun ang problem. But that's the problem, di ba? I can do that in person one-on-one kasi, I mean, in fairness, mabait ako in person, right? I mean, maybe you don't agree. Pero online kasi hindi. Talagang bashing yan eh. So I feel a lot of times people are defensive kasi sobrang abrasive online. Especially yung bang woke natin kaibigan. Talagang they cancel the whole city. Like, wag kayo pumunta Davao, gano'n. They say, wait, Ilocano, solid north, gano'n. Like, my family, a lot of them voted for Marcos, not my mom and dad. But I didn't cancel them. I still love them. I disagree with them. I have family members family relatives who vote for Trump. Doesn't mean like you know what I'm saying? I disagree with. So, I think compassion, understanding, empathy is important. But at the same time, it's also important to nudge them finding the right. At least I have some of my pinsan who openly say, nga, tama ka, ibang klase talaga si Digong eh. Pero Marcos pa rin tayo.
Ito tanong ko about Davao. Kasi syempre, pinag-uusapan natin how they feel about the Dutertes. Pero hindi kaya in the end, itong sa Davao will be about pera-pera lang. Hindi kaya doon din yung bagsak din.
That's the Carpio argument. That's the Carpio.
You think that
everywhere in the Philippines, everywhere in the Philippines.
Argument to Justice Carpio is the biggest ace card of Dutertes is their confidential fund. And look at
True.
Pera.
Nakatago lahat
money convinces many mindsets. Like, I think kailangan natin kasi bigla may Louis Vuitton.
Yung tanong, how much of their resources kaya will be placed dito to defend home court dito sa 2025?
Tsaka saan sila kuha ng pera?
Hindi, yung
yung legit.
okay.
Kasi wala nang confidential fund. Wala nang development fund. I wonder
the city confidential fund is huge.
Kaya nga, if you have...
Tinatanggal na, hindi pa rin.
No, it's still there. 500 million yun.
If you have saved money or how much of that will you have to use?
Yun nga eh.
Para
yung war chest.
Yung war chest to baka hindi yan, 'di ba? We discuss kung ganito ba yung baka ng pera-pera lang to sa dulo.
No, I think hindi
pataas.
Hindi lang but big factor. 40%.
I will be the
40%.
I will be the one to say na I have hope and I believe in the people in Davao na hindi nila papayagan mabenta yung boto nila para lang sa 5,000 pesos. Ano ba population ng Davao ngayon? 1.8?
Depends. The greater Davao is malaki.
Davao City. Davao City lang naman tatakbo ni Duterte. Davao City is 1 point. 1
million na?
Isn't it Davao City? 1.9.
Yeah, you're right.
It's a big 1.9 million. And now
paano kung merong ang vote buying sa Davao pero the Dutertes will lose naman?
Kasi kahit naman may vote.
Alam mo bakit?
Is it meron bang good kind of vote buying?
Well, I will tell you what. In some part of Ilocos, I won't say where, sabi nung mga kaibigan ko on the ground in Ilocos, this back in the day, nagkaroon ng second round of vote buying. Hindi na makahabol.
Oh my God.
Nagtapatan and then
wow.
out. So, kaya you are not hearing about a certain family from that region anymore.
Well, wait. The Nograles is backed up by BBM? Okay. Let's just because okay. So if he was, then BBM has the machinery and the budget as well. Ganun din. Budget.
Yung nga baka magka-cancel out yung vote buying.
And when you do vote buying naman, isn't it a fact that they can't see what you're voting naman? Is there a way to be able to?
There is daw.
There is.
There are some studies, I'll tell you what. There are a couple of different ways daw. One is, dapat maggaganong ka daw ng konti. So may tao doon sa loob na magvo-vote ka. Di ba, kunyari that igaganon mo ng konti so they have to see. So there's a watcher daw.
Oh.
Second, if kunyari binera ang isang barangay.
They monitor
and
per
then
barangay.
biglang hindi nagkaroon ng ROI, yari yung barangay. Buong barangay. So what happens is that they have capos inside who spy on those. Kunyari, ikaw, taga barangay A ka, tapos nagpo-post ka ng anti-mayor. May babantay sa'yo. So ano talaga pare? Collective punishment. So it's not just vote buying. Actually, it's vote intimidation. And yun ang hindi dinidiscuss ng ating mga kaibigan ng Pink. Puro na lang disinformation. Pare, mas malaking factor ang intimidation lalo dun sa probinsya. Pare, yayariin mo yung barangay mo.
Yeah, wow.
Or yung...
It's happening in all provinces. Walang...
When you say yayariin, what are you referring to? Violence? Death?
Yeah, there could be... Or they could cut off budget development to that area. Hindi maayos yung...
Matatanggal sa trabaho.
There's a whole menu of punishment.
Oh my God.
Singapore is also like that allegedly. If certain areas don't vote for that, kunyari opposition, biglang delayed na yung mga train. Of course, Singapore is soft authoritarian.
Right.
But in some places, let's say in Mindanao or some poorer areas of the country, yayarin daw. There are academic studies on that na meron silang talagang watchers. May kapos sila online, offline, even sa loob ng barangay. And I will tell you what, even if all of this is not true, the myth of that is strong enough also. Baka madulas tayo pare. At saka, isa lang naman ang vote mo eh. Kung magpasaway ka, yayarin ka, di naman ibang, di ba? It's so easy to be cynical.
Yep.
Bakit ka magmamaganda? Takot nga lahat. Kaya sabi ko, yun ang dapat discuss natin eh. In fairness to Lenny, sorry about last. In fairness to Lenny, she tried to kind of solve the problem by saying, kunin mo yung pera, pero wag mong botohin. Pero it doesn't take in consideration intimidation factor, and second, well, it's illegal. So you have to strengthen COMELEC talaga. Yung COMELEC talaga, dapat may tao
walang
doon.
na-arresto ni isa eh.
Nobody, ever.
Unless ayaw ng admin, di ba? Biglang after 2 years, biglang may election challenge yung kunyari. Sa, di ba, sa Cagayan, biglang may issue. Ganun lang naman eh. Very selective. I think kung may 10 malalaking tao LGO mahuli, magkakaroon ng counter fear factor. No one talks about it, right? COMELEC is so weak. How much you're spending. Online expenditure.
And even if they don't do anything about it.
They cannot do anything. Wala silang manpower, wala silang muscle. Wala silang muscle. So daming nagsabi sa akin, theory lang yung sinasabi niyo na anonymous. Actually, dun sa bar, ipapaganon ka daw. Titingin yan, go. Titingin yan, go. Ganon. Tapos kung hindi bumalik yung ROI, yari kang collective punishment yan.
I'd want to hear from the people, if there are people watching from Davao, like what ba talaga, guys?
Please tell us.
I would love to hear from you guys because ako, honestly, whether you support Duterte or not, and you're from Davao or not, ako, what we do here, criticizing and everything is for everyone, including you. So, alam ko that you disagree with us in maybe your love for Duterte, but remember, more important than your love for your politician is your love for country.
And also for the city, right? I mean, you
In
want
your case, your city, yeah.
Hindi, paano ang problema kasi, they feel na kung si Duterte yung nakaupo or presidente, uulan ng grasya dito sa city namin. So may ganong...
Na-agree naman ako kasi ganon din sa Ilocos, diba? Kasi nung Marcos is, ang daming developments ng... Kasi purang Ilocos back in the day eh. But now we have the best infrastructure because 20 years we had the president. So I understand yung hindi lang tribalism but yung alam mo na practicality and all. Pero ako naman syempre gusto mo yung first Mindanao president mo, good reputation para sana we have more Mindanao.
Yeah.
I want ang dami matalino from Mindanao. I mean, Scarpio is from Mindanao, right? I mean, ang dami ko kilala na mga magagaling na Mindanao, Moro Brothers, Christian Brothers and mga others. So yun lang, sana hindi lang ma-equate ang buong Mindanao kay Duterte. And the fact na si Duterte unilaterally says, hiwalay ng Mindanao. So I interviewed Zia Adyong, congressman, like, he doesn't speak for all of us. Pero sino ba siya, diba, essentially, diba? So I just feel that's too pretentious.
Yan papasok si Pacquiao.
Jensen joins the chat room. Jensen joins the chat room. Exactly. So I think, to be honest, I understand again, I keep on saying some, because obviously it's not. Some of our Davao friends keep on saying Imperial Manila, but there are people in Mindanao who tell me there's Imperial Davao, that sometimes Davao tries to impose.
Yes.
On the whole Mindanao.
You don't speak for all of us. I mean, there's all these other cities. There's, I don't know, Basilan, there's, you know what I'm saying?
Zamboanga, Cagayan de Oro.
Zamboanga is a big city,
Jensen.
right? So why are you equating Duterte with entire Mindanao? I understand 2016, first president, but hanggang ngayon, yung pa rin ang rhetoric nyo, di ba?
Some monasterize siguro from to change the narrative. Doon papasok na kasi babalik na naman yung train sa Mindanao at yung mga projects sa Mindanao. Kailangan bigyan talaga ng ano.
Binalik nga.
Bigyan talaga
plataforma right there.
So last time over? Kailangan ng ano? Kailangan ng
Okay.
Sige. Okay lang. Sige lang. Puya ka siya. Okay. We're back to the universe. Ayan, okay. Let's go to the last part of our discussion. I think we have still 15 minutes or so, no? Kasi medyo mahal ang rent dito. Going back to this, baka naman, mga gusto mag-sponsor dyan. No, going back to this, bro. Let's talk about opposition. How do you feel about other candidates also throwing their hat in this ring? I mean, Leila de Lima just came out of 7 years of fake, hindi lang fake drug war, fake incarceration, fake detention. And yet, she still threw her hat and was humble enough to even go for Congress rather than Senate. Chel Jokno also throwing his hat. I'll go also to Mark kasi Mark has been the party list guy, the Congress guy. So, kudos to you. Mas nakinig sila sa'yo kaysa kay Ronald Llamas, bro. You're the man. Ganun talaga kung absent ka, ikaw ang titirahin. So, ikaw, bro, how do you feel about progressive, genuine opposition? Hindi yung naging opposition dahil hindi binigyan ng position.
Well, to begin with, I'm glad that Leila de Lima is running, and I'm going to be helping promote her party list sa Makabayang Pilipino.
Yeah.
Right. That's the one, right?
Makabayang Liberal.
Makabayang Liberal, right.
Actually, mas maganda sana yung Pilipino.
Mamayang Liberal.
Yun. Okay. So, definitely supporting that. And I'm glad that they're doing the party list instead because that is a way to get to be a legislator. It's only parang 160,000 votes you need.
300. I think medyo tumaas
300
na.
300,000 na ba? Okay. So,
proportional kasi.
kasi ang dami. The thing is,
na,
now a lot of people are taking advantage of the party list system because
it's a cheap ticket to the...
Yes, because if you can...
For sa bunso ng pamilya, for the...
yung mga tabi-tabi. Ikaw, baka pwede ka mag-party list.
For the fourth congressman
kasi
sa pamilya.
yung problema lang kasi ng party list. Actually, I like the party list but there's also some problems with it. What I like about the party list is that, for example nga, if there's that tribalism in that province, or worse, is that the private armies, diba, the politicians that are entrenched, and then if you run against them, they're gonna have you killed. Yung ganun kalala. Maraming ganun sa probinsya. So, the party list system actually breaks that. Kasi now I'm not running against you in our district. I'm running, and I'm trying to get this is my advocacy. This is the special interest group I'm representing, and therefore, yung boto ko ngayon is all across. And the good thing about that is you're actually basing
extend na tayo.
Yeah, you're basing the votes because of issues, because of principles, rather than because of the personality. Although I don't like the fact that ang dami ngayong mga party list na. The dami na. This is one of the most. So,
excuse me. We have a breaking news. Andito na po si Secretary Ronald, parang tayo lang hindi tumakbo tong election ito. Tumakbo naman, Councilor. Kamusta? Ronald Llamas, Tristan. Alright, oh my God, this is getting crazy.
Senator.
Officially, hindi na siya nuisance candidate.
Hanapin niyo po yung pangalan ko bago
mag-extend na kami ng 30 minutes.
Bago kay Bongo.
Sorry,
so, pangalan ko Bongo.
Okay. Alright, sorry. Okay, I think we have to close the shop. Ito na, it's the Ronald Llamas show.
Hindi ko yung Mindanao eh.
No. We did Davao. Yeah. So, Ronald, let's rewind a little bit, then go back again. Kasi we had a long conversation about Davao at sabi ko, how can we talk to the Davao people without coming off as patronizing, right? How can we say na Dutertes are not, they're not equal to entire Davao or Mindanao without looking like Imperial Manila. So we had a long conversation about that na, no, Davao is so good that it has outgrown the need for authoritarian, populist, clownish games, right? That Davao people are, and then of course there's also a factor of fear. I feel to a certain degree, some people disagree with me, ang dami nagbash sa akin about that na sino ka ba, ganun. But ikaw, what is your read of Davao in terms of prospects for change, prospects for transformation?
Well, I think Davao will develop without extrajudicial killings. No? Dati pa yan nung si Father Paracale, no? Dati ko pang kakilala yun no? At siya yung nag-document nung almost 2,000 killings extrajudicially sa Davao. Unfortunately, namatay siya this year, no? At 67, no? Pero ang tapang niyan, no? Talagang nilista niya. Siya yung kumausap doon sa mga pamilya, inisa-isa niya. Ang tingin ko, Davao has the wherewithal na mag-develop, na magpatuloy na mag-develop, no? It's the biggest city I think in the Philippines.
Yes, 1.1
The
we were
greater
sa
Davao,
1.9
yeah.
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 Sorry about
So, tingin ko yung resources, yung skill set ng mga tao nandyan para mag-develop. At usually, ang image ng Davao ay nag-develop ito, yun yung wrong conception. Nag-develop ito because of the peace and order, because of the Davao death squads, etc. I totally disagree with that.
Yeah.
Tingin ko
It's the economics. It's the economics.
tingin ko ang laki ng possibility ng Davao, no? Even without yung notoriety ng DDS.
Gusto ko tanong po, how about the people do sa Davao? What do they, ilang percent sa kanila are truly love the Dutertes? Ilan yung out of fears?
Siyempre,
yung...
kung nagkaroon ka ng,
30 years.
for the first time, nagkaroon ka ng Mindanaoan na presidente, it's not only Davao, no? It's the whole of Mindanao. Dahil talaga namang napabayaan ang Mindanao for a long time. I've been organizing in Mindanao for the large part of my youth, no? Sa General Santos, mga urban poor, sa Sarangani, sa South Cotabato, mga magsasaka, sa Basilan, no? Matagal ako diyan, nag-organize ako ng rubber cooperative sa Cotabato, mga Iranon, sa Sulu, tumulong kami kay Nurmiswari do sa kanyang ARMM nung first. So, I've been around no, ang problema talaga nung Mindanao ay napabayaan sila in terms of services, investments, training ng Manila, no? Kaya
pero Ronald, our point is kasi na weaponize itong legitimate grievance against Imperial Manila.
Exactly.
So how can we de-weaponize it? Like how can we talk to our Mindanao friends and especially in Davao, yung mga Davaoan, like you can do better than Dutertes.
Hindi, halimbawa, nung
without sounding of as kupal Manila
January
people.
28. Nung rally sa Davao, anong sabi ni Duterte? Magsesesid kami.
Yes.
Meron bang suporta nakuha?
Wala.
Nagmukhang gago si Bebot Alvarez. Diba? Nung sigaw siya ng sigaw, no?
Now you see.
Pero ang BARM ba sumuporta sa kanila? Hindi. Anong sabi ng mga BARM official? Ang tagal na namin pinaglaban ito.
Ngayon lang.
Ngayon pa kayo magsesesid.
Si Adyong, di ba? Si Adyong na-interview doon. Parang hindi ka nga involved.
Si Pacquiao sa Southern
Jensen,
Mindanao.
exactly.
Bakit kami magsesesid, no? Ang mga subiri, no? Ang mga barbers, no? Ang mga
Zamboanga,
mga hataman, etc. Ang mga sa Sulu, sa Kurtan.
Right.
So, ibig sabihin, wala sila nakuhang support. Kung meron sila nakuhang support, pwede pang sabihin, uy, all out pa rin sila kay Digong. Wala inatras. Kaya nga inatras
Hindi ba Ronald, parang yung sabi ng ibang Mindanaoan sa akin, ano parang mag-Imperial Davao kayo? Na parang you're imposing on the rest of us also, the Duterte version of things, di ba?
Well, yes, no? Isang possibility yun. Pero ako kasi wala ko I don't have the numbers to crunch para sabihin ito out of fear, ito out of historical injustice, ito ay out of culture, ito about political economy. Wala akong ganun numbers Ang sinasabi ko lang, when Digong called for secession, walang sumuporta. No?
Right.
Paano mo masasabi na yung Mindanao ay all out kay Digong? No? Mas mahalagang issue yung historic crime na napabayaan ng Mindanao. Na ngayon ay nagsisimula na mapansin. Kaya yung mga iba, katulad sa BARM, ba't kami susuporta dyan? Ngayon lang nga kami nakakaranas ng ganitong klaseng pagtrato, pagpapahalaga, development. Ngayon pa kami hihiwalay, ngayon pa kayo babalik sa bundok. No? So, yun yung mga variables
So Ronald,
dito.
how can we have a progressive, non-patronizing conversation with Ako, I'm always defensive. I'm not even from Manila. I'm from Baguio, whatever. Kasi parati, if you're not from Mindanao or Davao and you say anything critical, they'll immediately tag you as, kupal to
Hindi,
so how do you get around that?
Una, wag na tayo masyado magsalita.
Mahirap to sa akin.
Ang piliin natin, no? Mag-create tayo ng mga Haydarian sa Mindanao, sa Davao, sa Jensan, no? Mga tigaron, maraming tigaron.
na lang natin.
Marami akong kilala. Si Neil Dalena, sa Zamboanga.
Let's give them
Sa Davao, may kilala ka?
Sa Davao, si
Magre-retire na ako.
Mike Ibanez, no? Si Ben Sumugoy sa Jensa. Ang dami mas magagaling sa akin yan no? Yan yung dapat magsalita.
Let's give them the
genuine voices
yan
of
yung
Davao.
magsalita, no? Si Carl sa Cagayan de Oro, no? Etc. Ang dami niyan
Paano
Ayun lang
Ronald, mag-asawa ako ng
Hindi
taga
lang
Mindanao,
na-
maging okay, pwede na ako
Tingin ko
magsalita.
walang papatol sa iyo. Tingin ko walang papatol. Mas mataas yung standard doon eh. No? Oh.
Kasi Imperial Manila ka, kaya wala.
Imperial Manila ka kasi.
Nagsimula na yung podcast natin.
Doon ka
Officially.
Doon ka na lang maghanap sa Singapore,
ito
o
kasi,
kaya sa
ito
Germany, o kaya sa Greenland. Di pa
Ayan.
bonito mo.
Ayan.
Doon ka maghanap, no?
Itatanong ko sa Ronald,
Iceland ako, ice. Ikaw yung green.
is there a path to victory for the Nograleses in 2025 or 2028?
Or what is victory short of winning all of the positions? Is
Kung
there,
kalaban
City
nila
Hall,
si
City Hall.
Baste at si Pulong, may chance sila. Kung kalaban nila si Digong sa 2025, 2028, may hirapan.
Mahirapan pa rin.
May hirapan sila. Pero dun sa, halimbawa, bakit tumakbo si Digong? Dahil alam niya, may hirapan si Baste. Absentee mayor eh.
Yup.
No, absentee mayor. Si Pulong, mas notorious kay Baste yun. Hindi rin mananalo yun. Baka si Sara. Pero bibitawan niya as vice president, no?
Right.
So, kwan lang yan, Digong or Sara yung may chance, no, na manalo. Ibang usapin pa sa district. Halimbawa, yung pinatakbo nila si Omar, tatalunin ba nun yung mga
Yung
Juan?
yung bata-bata.
Tatalunin ba nun yung mga Garcia?
Yeah.
Teritoryo nila yan, no? Ngayon, si Migs at saka si Pulong, tingin ko uphill pa rin si Migs, pero may chance. Davao City, different yan.
Right.
No? Walang tatalo kay Digong dyan for now. Ang tatalo lang kay Digong, impyerno. No? Yun lang, no?
Speaking of, sorry, we're going back again. Kanina, ang suggestion, kasi Rizzo Antiveros kanina made the motion na dapat it should be whole of Senate. Kasi hindi naman pwedeng inakusa gawa ng sarili ng investigation. But, I think, at least you agree with me. I want Batu to oversee that and then Digong in his arrogance and complacency really spill all the beans. Yung parang nangyari kay Jonathan Morales, yung talaga off the script. Baka it's better to do it that way para Digong
Hindi,
will
may
know.
rules yan eh. Hindi pwedeng
Self-incrimination.
hindi pwedeng mag-organize ng committee hearing during the break moto proprio.
Out
On
of
his own.
Dapat previously continuous.
Dapat yung before,
right,
no?
right.
Ikalawa, yung delikadesa. Iimbestigahan mo yung sarili mo, no?
Well, wala naman kasi delikadesa eh.
Yeah, wala na.
Obviously, wala.
Kaya ang proposal ni Rizad, the whole of the
Senate.
Senate,
Yeah.
no? Pwedeng gawin yan sa November 4.
Right.
Pero hindi na nila kontrolado yan.
Yeah.
Duda ako kung gusto nila Bato tsaka ni Bongo yan. Ang gusto nila yung kontrolado nila.
Yeah.
Na hindi nila pwedeng gawin during the break. May rules dyan eh. No? Ako lang naman ang hindi sumusunod sa rules. Pero yung mga senador susunod dyan. No? Susunod sila sa rules.
Pero hindi si Jonathan Morales. Hindi siya.
hindi,
Kaya
hindi.
nakulong. Ready na yung baon niya.
So yan yung
Makontempt siya.
So yan yung problema niya. Pero actually, ang issue kasi dyan, delikadesa. Nawala naman si Bato.
Oo
si
nga.
Wala
Bongo.
talaga.
So pero tingin mo ba magagawa nila tong committee na to or tong hearing na to?
Committee
Hindi.
of the whole. No,
Oh,
pwede
pero
yun. Oh.
pero they won't agree to the committee of the whole. But even if they don't agree, if they get the majority of the senators to agree, or does it just take the Senate President to be able to say tuloy yan?
Walang pakialam dyan ng Senate President. Dapat dyan yung lahat ng mga senador
If-
mag-agree. Yung committee of the whole. No?
Otherwise, so let's say hindi nag-agree. You think that Bato, well, to begin with, I think Bato's gonna agree to the committee of a whole, di ba?
Ang sabi kasi nila, pag wala silang dalawa ni Bongo, hindi dadalo si Digong. Sa committee of the whole,
Ano
nandun
ba?
naman silang dalawa. Dadalo ba si
Sana
I don't think he will.
I doubt it, no?
Yeah.
I doubt
I
it. Dahil marami nang nandun, no?
Gawa
Marami
tayo
na-
ng petition, please, tatay. Tatay,
Sumipot
Digong,
ka na.
Come here to
Pwede ba akong
Manila.
maging resource person?
I-ready mo na yung bag mo kasi ma-contempt ka. Matulog ka na. Diba si Jonathan Morales? Dala-dala
Ready
niya.
yung bag.
Mr. Jonathan, you have invoke contempt. Ganun siya. Kukunin niya na yung bag na. Ready
Pero,
na.
pero malaki ang duda ko kung ako ay patutulugin nila sa Senate.
Yun lang.
Medyo may duda ako
Parang
ron, ha?
threaten sila
Oo,
sa'yo.
may duda
Oh my
ako.
God. This is great. Sir Ronald. Oh my God. Let's talk about the fear factor. Kasi, okay, sabi nyo nga, it's hard to, I have to be political science. Yes, it's, kasi for me, fear has such a distortionary effect that you cannot say slice na 30% after. Kasi parang ano yun eh, parang it's like a poison, di ba? But, what is not questionable is yung voter intimidation culture on the ground, yung kapos who check on who's voting and not. I saw studies that even online they check. The reason I'm asking is that because the opposition in the Philippines, the genuine, and keeps on talking about disinformation. When I say actually the problem on the ground is not only vote buying, it's vote intimidation. And
Well, hindi.
how they
kung-
deal with that?
Kung hindi ikaw ang gobyerno, mahihirapan kang gawin yon. Halimbawa, sino
Yes.
si populis dyan? Si Hansel Malantan. Kilala ko yon. no? Walang kinakatakutan 'yon,
Right.
no? Medyo may konting notoriety.
Parang ikaw.
Si Hansel. Pero walang kinakatakutan yun.
Yeah.
Si General Torre, na nasa
Of
CIDG
course,
na
CIDG
yun.
na ngayon,
Kung
yeah.
nandun pa siya, wala rin kinakatakutan
Ah,
yun. So,
okay.
ibig sabihin, yung mga ilalagay dyan, yung mga i-deploy dyan,
bantayan, para hindi ba
gagwardiyahan
bantayan?
yung ganong klaseng harassment. So, maliban pa sa pag sinabi mo sa mga Davaoenyo, hindi natatakot kayo, hindi nila aaminin yun. No?
Of course.
Walang aamin nun. No?
So that
Kaya-
will be the arms of COMELEC, because COMELEC on itself cannot fight these goons and warlords who are, voting intimidation techniques, di ba?
Well, pwede akong pumunta ron, kasama ko para makatulong sa mga mananakot.
Now you see why we have this show, right? It's,
Ang fear naman is relative no? Kaya depende yan, lalo na ngayon. No, lahat ng mga dating mga pumapalakpak sa EJK ngayon binabanatan ng EJK, no? So kaya nga sabi ni
Tama
Bongo,
si Bongo, tama
sabi
siya.
ni Bongo, nakinabang kayo
Tama siya.
Different
Tama siya.
levels kasi ang guilt diyan Yung iba yung talagang sumuporta sa killings. Yung iba yung nagbigay ng public support.
Yung iba
Katulad ng
silent.
isang secretary ng Foreign Affairs na nagsalita sa United Nations, depending Tokhang, no, na ngayon ay senador na, no? Yun yung ikalawang level, no, na sumuporta pero hindi naman directly kasama sa killings. At yung mga nanahimik,
Yep.
no? At yung mga nanahimik. May varying degrees siya ng guilt, no?
Right.
So yung mga congressman, senador na ngayon ay gustong investigahan ito, so long as hindi sila kasama sa killings, ay okay na ako ron, no? Kung may ginagawa silang mabuti, hindi ko haharangan.
Right.
Parang yung mga kaaway ko, hindi ko sila haharangan if they're making a mistake, no? Ganon din yung mga kakampi natin ngayon. Politics naman is relative sa Pilipinas. Wala namang permanent enemies, permanent friends di ba?
May mga dilawan nagsabi, quiet daw ako, quiet daw tayo, wala tayong ginawa sa EJK. Sila lang daw.
Ako, hindi ako nasa Matrix nga ako.
Matrix.
Kasama ko nga si
Kaya nga, kaya nga,
Jollibee, tsaka si Heidi Lindia.
kaya silent
Hindi ako
ka
tahimik,
kasi nagtago ka. Ikaw na silent ka, nagtago ka. Ako naman nasa TV.
Hindi, nung panahon na yun, wala pa akong podcast. Wala rin ako mga TV
wala rin
show.
akong podcast kasi yun
Wala
na.
naman tatanggap sa akin nun
Actually, ako yung Ronald Llamas nung time na yun, napansin mo?
Diba?
So, nagpalit tayo ng pwesto ngayon. O nga, wala pong podcast nung time na yan.
Tsaka ayaw ni Pinoy na magsalita ako nun
Oo.
Ah, really?
Dahil lang gusto ni Pinoy, may iba siyang pinapagawa sa akin So, kaya nung pumanaw siya, doon nakapagsalita na ako. Para na ako Ronin.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Oh.
So,
Pakipalitan yung
Na-let loose na.
Hindi ko lang,
we have a different version of this behind you. Pakipalit. Okay, now officially we are in the Shogun edition. Shogun edition. Now, kahapon kausap ko si Justice Carpio. Sorry if I'm rewinding a little bit so that we can catch up. With Justice Carpio, kahapon sabi niya, actually yung mga lalabas sa Quadcom at saka pwede gamitin ng ICC yan. So actually, they could be mutually reinforcing.
Yes and no. Dahil yung ICC kasi, ang kanilang, nung 1 year after natin umalis, yun ang coverage nila, which is 2019. No? Kung ito ay mga icing on the cake na lang, no? Pero yung kaso nila is practically tapos na no? Yung international warrant na lang hinihintay. Hindi rin sila pwede magdagdag. Dahil nga, meron silang coverage 1 year pagkatapos natin umalis.
Nung nandito si Justice Carpio, medyo hindi ka sure sa legal analysis mo. Ngayon nawala siya, you are questioning.
Hindi, ayoko lang, baka ayoko maging insecure si Justice.
For the first time, nung nandun si Justice Carpio, I never saw in my life, nagtatanong siya, Justice, totoo ba ganun? Tapos nung wala si Justice, may sagot, hindi. Ito mangyari, like, okay. Love na love kita, Sir Ron.
Siyempre, namimili rin tayo.
Baka may insecure yung Justice.
Baka ayoko ma-insecure si Justice. No?
Ako naman, kasi
Alam ko naman, ikaw, wala sa vocabulary mo ang insecurity.
medyo opposite ang problema ko. Kaya galit na galit yung mga dilawan sa akin.
Dapat naman silang magalit.
Bakit naman? Bakit naman?
Kinakampahan mo si Sunny Trillanes
Nalikan mo. Uy, support ako today. Ano tingin mo yung
Kasi
meeting?
na dalawa yun no?
Meeting nila with BBM and Lenny. Sinuport ko
It
yung
was
meeting na yan.
not a meeting. Nagkita lang sila.
Ayan.
Ikaw naman,
Iba yung meeting sa
ilalagyan mo ng
nagkataon
kahulugan
doon.
no?
Nagkamali na naman
yan yung
ako.
problema rito no?
Chance passenger.
Right.
Nagkita lang Nandun si Camille Villar, nandun si Bamakino.
Si Camille.
Diba?
Is that Villar? Sabi ko.
Nagkita lang. Nilagyan mo kagad ng
Si
kahulugan.
Bamakino.
Parang may picture si Camille Villar Parang high sa mayon. Tapos yung mga tao, naku, makabili na yung buong. Kamelya doon sa buong.
May bakanteng lupa doon.
Ibig sabihin, kung makita mo kami ni BBM na nagkakamay, magbabago na pagtingin mo sa akin?
But Ronald, di ba the difference is, nag-release ng picture yung kay Lenny, kay BBM, pero yung with Sarah, wala pa tayong picture. Meron ba? Meron ka ba ng picture?
Bakit naman nila kukunan ng picture yon? Si Sarah yung dumalaw. Dapat si Sarah yung kumuha ng picture.
Walang official meeting picture. Ito, chance lang. Ang daming picture. Smile. Pakit.
Hindi naman nga official yon, no? Reluctant
Alam
nga.
mo, Ronald, parang pinapahamak mo naman.
Reluctant nga yung host no? Ba't niya kukunan ng picture?
Parang
Reluctant siya.
nag-regret ako. Cut. Tawa na. Late ka na. Wala na itong show na. So, Chris, now you see. Ito na yung Shogun edition. Lord Toronaga.
Panahon ng laglagan ngayon, di ba? Panahon ng laglagan ngayon eh. So, anong bago?
Ronin. Ikaw kakatayin. Sir Ronald, now let's go back to this. Chris, so you were saying kanina, okay, paki-delete lahat ng sinabi ni Ronald. Kunyari lang, pinakinggan natin siya. Chris, you were saying about opposition, you feel good about Laila and everyone throwing their hat into the ring, even if it's party list and kind of a downgrade from Senate.
I don't think it's a downgrade because although they call it the lower
Supposedly.
house, it's not. As a matter of fact, I think that the Senate is downgraded compared to the Congress because tignan mo yung caliber ng ating mga senador. Honestly, look at the caliber of our Congress. Ang galing ng Kongreso natin. And nakikita mo yung magagaling doon. I mean, sina Luistro who came out of nowhere. And then you compare to the line of questioning and even the way they prepare for their hearings. I as much as I like Risa, pag pinakinggan mo line of questioning ni Risa and then compare mo kahit kina Ace Barbers, kina sina Paduano, sina
Lawyer din kasi sila, so it's a different kind of approach.
Dan Fernandez.
Even Dan Fernandez. So even
Ang crime nila, murdering the English language.
yun lang alam problema. Pag pinapakinggan mo parang mag-Tagalog na lang kayo.
Murdering fashion. Okay, ganito. From someone with the chest hair, you don't do that if you don't have chest hair. Sorry, Dan.
Guess ko si Dan last Monday.
Really?
Sabi ko sa kanya, pati ba naman si Cassandra nilalandi mo?
Pati nga yung ni Garma, tinatanong, nahihirapan ka ba dahil sa relasyon nyo ni Gong, gano'n? Tapos si Garma, hindi naman po, ginawang Cassandra si Garma.
Sabi sa akin ni Dan, kabayan. Kabayan kami, sa munisipyo ko.
Okay.
Na-disarm na ako ron. Hindi ko na inulit.
Okay.
Now I see.
Magaling.
Hindi ko na inulit. Pero yung unang salbo,
Hindi naging congressman, secretary. Cassandra lahat is Cassandra
hindi ko naman murderin yung English language. Sabi ko kasi sa mga congressman, kung mas sanay ka sa Tagalog,
Mag-Tagalog ka,
Kung sanay ka sa English, mag-English ka na lang.
Yeah,
no?
totoo.
Huwag mo lang ipilit. No?
Kung maglalandi ka, wag naman yung kriminal. BBM!
Teka, correction lang bago ako magsalita.
Ay, hindi ka pa nagsalita?
Parang mali yung apelyido ko.
Hindi,
Kulang sa A.
Medyo Japanese yung gumawa Riyamas.
Well, agree naman ako kay Chris na talaga namang value added si Laila sa Congress. Mas ang issue ko lang ay dalawa. Una ay Laila is our local Mandela. At yung role niya sana is to unify yung opposition na hati-hati. At ang problema sa party list, you will be competing for the same vote. Lahat ng mga iba't ibang parties.
So baka
mag-aagawan kami nun. All of us will be... Dahil isa lang ang boto sa party list. All of us will be competing for the same
one
vote.
lang ba? Hindi ba?
Isa lang.
You only get to pick one party list.
So magkakampanya rito.
Mag-aagawan sila ng boto.
Mag-aagawan kami.
May fixed base na kasi.
Yun yung problema.
So kung kakamping ka,
na
you have to
medyo
choose.
yung role sana ni Laila is more unifying. No? Ikalawa, yung principle ng party list. Kasama namin yung Liberal Party, si Senator Bobby Tanyada at saka si Ed Selagman, na presidente ngayon ng Liberal Party, to campaign for the party list law in 95 to 97. First, in-implement siya 98. Ang essence ng party list law is for the marginalized sector. Binago yan ng Supreme Court noong 2013. Sabi nila, lahat pwede na mag-participate. But the essence remain, The essence of the party list is for marginalized sectors.
Yes.
Not for established parties, not for billionaires,
Yep.
no, not for sons of
Dynasties.
former presidents, not for dynasties, no. Kahit pinayagan na ng Supreme Court 'yan. Mahirap na 'yung argument mo na okay lang kami tumakbo kahit magkakamag-anak kami dahil wala pa namang implementing rules na anti-dynasty kahit malinaw sa konstitusyon.
Yep.
Hindi mo pwedeng sabihin sa party list yun. Malinaw naman yung essence ng anti-dynasty sa konstitusyon. Malinaw yung essence ng party list sa konstitusyon. Kahit yan ay binago ng Supreme Court through judicial legislation, the essence remains. So, ako, dapat yung Liberal Party na kasama namin noon sa pagkampanya nito, sana sila nag-inhibit na. No, katulad ng ibang mga
Yun yung
established
ano doon.
parties.
So
Dahil yun yung essence noon eh.
Yeah, so you're saying you'd prefer that De Lima run for Senate na lang instead?
Either run or bid her time, help unite the opposition, sila ni Laila, ni Lisa.
And expand
Risa,
the base, and
yes,
expand the base.
And then run sa 2028, no? Dahil kakakulong lang niya ng 7 taon, pahinga siya and become a unifying figure, no? Rather than be one among 350, no, sa Congress at makatulong mabastardize yung party list law. Na ang essence is very progressive. No?
Ako my counter argument to Ronald is, to that is
Lagi ka naman may counter-argument.
para lang fair. Alam mo naman, Ronald, lamas show. No, ako naman, ang
Kung
counter
wala
argument,
kang counter-argument, di ka na hilarious.
ang counter argument ko naman dyan is, ang dami ng talo ng Liberal Party, baka maging irrelevant na, you know what I'm saying? They have to show that like, hey, we're still
It's
here.
not, hindi yan ang kailangan nilang gawin. Kailangan nilang mag-ayos internally.
Oh, well.
Yung 6 nilang congressman, 2 nasa minority, 4 nasa majority. So yun
Yung
ang
isa
kailangan,
umalis na.
yun ang kailangan nilang ayusin, no? Si Kimbo, ang partido
Wala na,
anti-Maharlika, anti-Chacha. Si Kimbo pro-Maharlika, pro-Chacha. Kailan ba umalis si Kimbo? Just a few months ago.
Stella.
No? So, ibig sabihin, if I were a self-respecting party, matagal ko nang tinanggal yan.
Yep.
No? So, mas ang kailangan nilang ayusin is not yung win or lose. Ayusin nila yung internal.
But why do you think
be
they're-
a real political party?
But why
no?
they aren't doing it? Is it lack of political will? Is it they just gave up on reforming it, so they just want to
Siguro pragmatism. Imbis na babawasan pa sila ng miyembro, no? Tanggapin na nila lahat. No? Kahit nasa majority.
They
no?
run into a hard wall of traponess eh. Yung isasabi mo, di ba?
Halimbawa, may 2 kang congressman na nasa minority. Yung party president mo, independent minority. Tapos yung 4 mong congressman nasa majority. Paano tinawagin yung sarili mong partido? At least sa amin, kahit maliit kami, hindi pwede yun.
Yeah.
Di ba? No? Sa akbayan. Dapat malinaw yung party decision, party ideology, party whip, no, etc.
Pero they're just like every other party in the Philippines, if that's the case.
Well, kung
Na
buhay...
maraming turncoating and maraming
kung
di ba?
buhay si Pinoy, hindi papayag yun. No, kung buhay
right.
siya.
So you
Okay.
think Pinoy would have done the cleaning up of the house?
Yeah, dahil ang
Hindi,
mahalaga
sa
kay Pinoy,
party
the
muna.
legacy of the party, the legacy of the
Liberal Party
Aquino,
muna.
no? The Aquino family. So,
Well, Bam Aquino is not
pagka-
Liberal Party anymore, right?
Ay,
pagkausap ko nga si Pinoy noon, sabi niya, ang problema ko, pag may iniisip akong iba, parang nagagwardya sa akin yung mga magulang ko eh. Kaya hindi siya pwedeng,
Yeah,
hindi siya pwedeng lumabas doon sa kung ano yun, no?
The lane, yeah,
Sabi
the
niya,
moral
palaging
lane.
nandun sa kanyang likod eh, no? Yung legacy ng kanyang pamilya. Hindi niya pwedeng sirain yun.
So, but Bam Aquino couldn't be the person to do it? I mean, he's out of the loop, right? Hindi na siya Liberal Party, so paano yun?
No comment.
No, parang no comment din siya. We have him actually here. We have him here.
Nandiyan pa naman si Kiko, si Leila.
Alam mo,
Nandiyan pa naman
right.
sila si-
Ganyan ang style na. Sisirain dahil, tapos hindi niya sasagutin. No comment.
Hindi, pero
Hindi,
I think new blood siguro sa liberal more than anything else.
But bakit papatol ang new blood kung what he's saying is a hopeless case that is not even recognizing that it's a hopeless case, you know?
Hindi, wala ka na magawa sa mga matatanda eh. Kasi syempre, masyado nang kinain ng sistema, masyado nang kinain. Pero yung sa bata siguro mas
Parang Camille Villar.
idealist,
Parang
mas-
yung mga ganyan Camille
Or-
Millennial.
Or Kiko D. Kiko Aquino D. Yan yung bagong generation eh.
Sa bagay.
Oo, mga ganun.
Oo,
Para at
na-
least may-
Ay, yung prof sa UP.
Oh,
hindi
yung
pa
prof sa UP
kinakain
na
Mabait.
anak ni Biel Aquino.
medyo
no,
mabait.
yun,
Hindi
no.
pa kinakain ng sistema.
Parang
Diba?
tayo,
Hindi pa.
mabait, no? Yan, no?
They say.
Si Bam has to survive eh.
Yeah.
Yun Yun yung kanyang kan. Pero, hindi na rin siya Liberal Party.
Yeah.
Yun nga, like what's going on there? But at
Well,
least nag-pink siya. He listened to her advice.
Pinalitan na niya yung kanyang damit.
Oh.
Tsaka tawag ko na sa kanya,
Hindi na
Buff
puti.
Aquino. Kasi medyo, di ba? Medyo, hindi na siya Bam Aquino, Buff Aquino na siya. Medyo, I think he liked it. Yeah, it's like, Buff Aquino, looking great. Yeah.
Pero di ba at the same time naman, maraming mga kandidato din from the other parties, party of Digong. Maraming hindi na, is Bato even part of that party or did he go
PDP
independent na rin?
PDP
No,
Diba?
PDP pa rin.
Sila.
PDP
PDP pa rin.
Si Francis Tolentino ang umalis.
Oh, yun, Franz Tolentino. Tapos sino pa? Pero karamihan parang,
Sila na lang din yun.
oh,
Mismo
wala,
yung-
nagbe-break na yung buong
Mismo yung
party.
presidente ng PDP, si Pepito Alvarez,
Alvarez.
umalis na.
Oh.
Yung SecGen, ano ba yun? Yung dating Transco.
Yung dating...
Si Melvin Matibag. Yun yung mga unang tumalon, no? Last year pa yon, no? Tumalon na yon, no? Nag-file pa ng disbarment kay Harry Roque, no? Doon sa kwan. Pero sabi ko sa kanya, hindi ka pa rin na-absuelto doon sa 6 na taong ka na PDP laban. At least
Right.
as far as I'm concerned, no? Kasama ko
Pero si Tolentino, Mr. West Philippines na siya ngayon. Mr. Tolentino, Francis Ronald Llamas of Duterte Tolentino. Diba?
Wow, yun ang ano?
He was the political affairs.
yung position ko, siya yung pumalit.
Oh,
Now, he's
okay.
like Mr. West Philippines Sea. I was like, what? What? It's like, you know what's going on. But speaking of what's his name? Ex-human rights. I see Harry Roque.
Ay, okay, yeah.
Kilala mo si Wilfredo Garrido? Siya ba yung Harry Roque of the other side? May nagtatroll kasi sa akin. Sabi,
Tawa
sino
na.
to? Sabi ko, may pagka-Harry Roque.
I've heard his name, pero hindi ko...
parang
I've heard his name, pero...
Chloe yung comment. Tapos ako yung inatak. Sabi ko, oh, so I'm a celebrity. I was like, but going back,
I've heard his name, hindi ko na siya kilala.
yun nga, ako rin, lahat parang it sounds familiar.
At least si Chris na papanood ko, di ba? Yung Garrido, hindi ko napapanood yun.
Actually, plastic siya, hindi niya alam sino ka. Tapos kahapon lang pinala.
May balbas kasi siya ngayon eh. Dati,
malinis siya.
very
Ronald,
siya eh. Very
hindi
clean
kami
cut
babae.
eh.
Hindi kami
Very-
babae. Hindi ka yung mga ganon
Very
sa
clean
babae.
cut eh, oh.
Ay, hindi kasi ang bata mo in person.
Oh.
Bro, hindi mag-work yan,
Basta
bro.
tinitingnan ko kasi yung sinasabi niya eh.
Ay,
Nung wala pang Heydarian nun eh.
Ayan na naman.
Si Chris bumabanat na nun eh, no?
Tayo, wala naman tayong ginawa, di ba? Mamasyal lang tayo. At ikaw, underground ka.
Yung iba operasyon ko nun eh.
Medyo underground operations. Now, Chris, going back to this. So, what are the things you want to see in the opposition, and then how are you gonna tie up? Are you gonna tie up event? You are running independent. I'm both of you guys.
Yeah.
How are you gonna navigate this? Because he's running for councilor sa Mandaluyong,
Yep.
and officially non-nuisance candidates are legit. So, how are you guys gonna navigate this? Am I gonna see you one day taking picture with Sarah, another day with BBM, another day with Lenny?
I don't have an I've said naman talaga that even off cam I've said na I don't have an issue with the Abaloses. I actually like what Benhur Abalos did with the DILG. I think he did a fantastic job.
Yung Abalos na kalaban, kriminal, hindi mo
yeah.
Mali.
Pinalitan nila kalaban at kriminal.
Ang liit kasi nung kalaban na, kaya laki, Abalos, kalaban, kriminal.
Di ba, inedit ginawang at eh. Kalaban at kriminal.
Yan ang worst ever shit.
Fired na yun, no.
Medyo may problema yung
May
PR nila.
eyesore.
Yung PR
May
nila.
eyesore. Kalaban, kriminal. Pang FBI wanted yung nilagay. Sorry, go ahead.
No, yun lang. For me, it's that. I'm not, like I've said
Like a
naman,
hater, yeah.
I'm not a hater, nor am I, kaya nga may naiinis sa akin ng mga pinks
Purists.
when I would comment and say, oh, I like what BBM did here, or ganun. May nagagalit sa akin, and I'm like, that's the problem. Kasi, guys, if you're always looking at the enemy, na parang lahat ng gagawin niya mali, you're never gonna get anyone to listen to your side of things. When you always believe that their side is wrong, you have to see all sides and determine ano ba yung tama at mali. And we have one objective lang naman, di ba? Para yung objective natin lahat eh. Whether you're supporting Duterte, you're supporting Marcos, or you're supporting whoever, we all have the same objective of wanting the best for the Philippines. I truly believe that the people supporting Duterte want the best for the Philippines. It's the methodology and your belief in what are you willing to compromise. Unfortunately, they're willing to compromise a lot more than what they should be. Diba? Yun yung difference. Kaya sa akin, I will take a photo with BBM if BBM was with me, even though I've criticized him so many times and I still criticize
Game
him.
naman siya. Hindi naman siya.
Yeah.
icon, eh.
But I would never take a photo with the Dutertes. No. Nor even if
nag-cancel culture kayo pala eh.
no, see, that's not cancel culture.
Yan.
That's not cancel culture because that's just my
Personal
opinion.
choice.
If you want to take a photo with Duterte, you want to interview him, by all means, go for it. And I even,
Then I will curse him.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah. O, diba?
Isa lang buhay na lalabas sa room. Isa lang buhay.
Actually, if Duterte did show up, would you be willing to do that interview? You and Richard, would you?
Yes, si Richard na lang.
You would not. See, okay, see.
I will do something different.
He will go and get the shit.
Pero I would say the same. I would not want to be in the same room with the Gong.
Katulad ng mga ibang progressive groups na naging bahagi ng Duterte government.
Oh,
no?
yeah.
Ang kanilang paliwanag, no? Tumagal kami na mahigit 2 years dahil nung nakilala namin siya, hindi naman siya ganon. Hello? No?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yep.
Day 1 pa lang may patay na. Diba?
Hindi, nung mayor siya.
Yes.
No?
Sabagay.
Paano yung sasabihin na hindi siya ganon, di ba?
As a matter of fact, yun ang problema na sa Pilipinas eh. People equate niceness with mabait na tao. Sabi ko sa kanila, alam mo, dahil mabait yung tao sa'yo, it doesn't mean they're good people.
Yes.
You know how many times they say, nakilala ko naman si, for example, si Duterte. Nakilala ko naman si Chavit, ang bait-bait niya.
Nice to meet.
Yeah.
Nice to meet.
Kaya-
I keep on hearing that. Ang dami kong kilala na sobrang intellectual, ganun. Tapos nung kinamayan sila, ay, ang pogi. Ay, ang
Oh,
ganda.
yeah. Ang bait pala niya.
Ang tao talaga.
Halimbawa, si Patrick Paez kanina, tinatanong niya ako. Sabi niya,
Uy, boss
bakit
natin
hindi
yan,
na lang, ba't sarado kayo dun sa coalition with BBM? Meron naman kayong mga similarities. Sabi ko, yes. Foreign policy, no, sa criminality campaign, no, etc., no. Pero sa economy, tsaka sa usapin ng corruption, at tsaka sa historical
crimes.
Revisionism, yeah.
hindi pa rin kami nagkakasundo. Hindi naman kami unit team na mag-unite lang para manalo. Meron kaming ideology, meron kaming vision, meron kaming analysis. Dapat may kaunti ring approximation nun, yung makakasama namin sa isang coalition. Hindi naman kinakailangan maging purist kami. Pero hindi rin naman pwede na cup half full,
Anything
cup
goes.
half empty.
Yeah.
Kahit dialectical kami, titingnan namin negative at saka positive, ibang usapin kung magsasama kami sa isang sisidlan, sa isang partido. Magkaiba yon. Ibang usapin kung pupurihin namin yung foreign policy niya, pupurihin namin yung kanyang human rights ngayon. At the same time, babanatan namin yung human rights record ng kanyang tatay before.
Yes.
Yung loot na hanggang ngayon ay hindi pa nare-recover, babanatan namin yon, no? Yung mga namatay sa torture, at patuloy namin babanatan yon. Ngayon, ibang usapin kung sasabihin niya, let's move on, tatanggapin namin na meron kaming pagkakamali, no, as a family, pero ibahin niyo ako. At ito yung aking gagawin. Ngayon, ibang usapin yun, no?
Break lang, 5 minutes. We have 5 minutes lang. Go. Alright guys, ito na. We're in the last quarter, last 2 minutes na itong show natin. Pag-usapan natin to. Mark, balikan ka namin, Mark. Kamusta yung feeling? Number, what, 24? Number 24?
27,
sorry.
Number 28 si
Bongo.
Bongo. Ayun, so
Wow.
magkatabi kami.
Swerte yung So, wow.
So,
How are you feeling, bro?
kumbaga, it gets real now. Parang, nung before, isip mo na baka hindi naman ako. Pero, at least, kasi ini-expect ko na kung manusans ako yung the amount of pang-aasar na makukuha ko mula sa DDS. At least nakaligtas ako doon. Mark safe ako sa pambabash nila na, oy, nuisance ka. Kasi for the next 3 years, yan ang ititira nila sa akin, nuisance.